All along this campaign, I've said that great cities have great schools. I'm a proud Worcester Public School graduate. I went to West Tatnick, I went to Chandler, and then I went to Doherty. And when I went off to Hamilton College, I went off to a school which had many kids that had gone to wealthy prep schools, but I felt that was on par. I had received the same level of education that they had, and I was ready to go. That's the same qualities that I want to bring to being chairman of the school committee. As mayor, you are the chairman of the school committee, and that is as important of a task in the city as any task. I have two young children who are going to the Worcester Public Schools. My son Liam is going to be at preschool at West Tatnick, and my son Ricky will be a kindergarten student at Tatnick School this year. I've been lucky because I was raised by two Worcester Public School teachers. My dad taught for 46 years at Forest Grove, and my mom still teaches, having taught at Union Hill, North High School, and also now at Doherty High School. When the school bell rang at 2:20, their job never ended. They're always looking and seeking ways to improve the way they taught and inspired kids. My dad always says that his job as an educator, even though he had all these great teaching methods that he was known for, he said, my job as an educator is to teach and instill self-confidence, to build up people's self-confidence, to make sure that you look at the potential in people, not what they can't do. And that's the same thing I want to apply here in the city of Worcester. Over the past year or so, I've gone to Beacon Hill several times to fight to change the educational funding formula. I think that's important because we have to be able to do things like they did in the state of Tennessee in the STAR program, in the state of Indiana, where they worked to reduce class sizes. They didn't talk about it. They actually did certain things to reduce class sizes. In addition, I've had the opportunity over the past year to go to many parent site council meetings where I hear firsthand from both parents, from the teachers, and from the administrators what's going on in those school buildings. And that's taught me a lot about what we need to improve children's education. I know we need to invest in more software technologies. One of the things I saw when I went up to West Tatnick was that one teacher was using a software called Teacher Web, where a parent or a teacher or a student can go on 24/7. And they can see what homework is due that day and then what homework is due down the line. In addition, on the homework on that day, there's work centers within the website. So if a child gets stuck on something, the parent or the child can go in and get assisted with their homework. It's a virtual classroom. And that's important because it gives a parent the power to say, hey, I know what your homework is, and not just hear from the child. But also, the teacher was telling me that the students were going on because they loved going on. They felt like they had the teacher with them at night. These are some of the things that we have to continue to strive to achieve. Additionally, we have to do community day, extended day programs to give our children more intensive learning experiences so that they can have an opportunity to succeed. I want every child to be able to have an inspired education in the city of Worcester. As mayor, I'm going to make sure that we get a first-class education for our children. We need to be competitive in the marketplace, both for our children and for our businesses. We all know that businesses will not come in and stay in Worcester if we don't provide a good education. We all know that young families won't stay in Worcester or come into Worcester if there's not a first-class education. We need to make sure that Beacon Hill knows who the mayor of Worcester is, strictly for one purpose, so we can get more funds to be able to provide a better education for our children. And I'm going to make sure that as mayor, that Beacon Hill does know who Rick Rushton is. I'm also going to make sure that the teachers and the principals and the parents feel comfortable coming to me and share their problems, because I want to know what their problems are, both as a parent and as a citizen here in the city of Worcester, and more importantly, as a proud Worcester Public School graduate.